Welcome to the deep dive. We've got a really unique journey to explore today. It comes from a listener actually over in Norway who shared some incredible sources about her family. We're talking triumphs, tragedies, and these sort of karmic threads, the sources say, connect them all. It's a fascinating look at cause and effect, maybe from a perspective you haven't really thought about before. So our mission today is to, unpack these insights, help you see maybe some of the unseen forces shaping things. We'll hear about resilience, tough times, big changes. This is really for you, our listener, to get the most wisdom out of this family's experiences.
Absolutely. And what's really striking is how these very personal stories, they reflect these broader principles, cause and effect,
Yeah.
essentially. We'll be looking at the connections, the actions and outcomes, not just what happened, but according to these sources, why it happened and what that might tell us about our own lives, too.
Okay, let's dive into the father's story first.
Yeah.
It's quite something. He starts out as a rickshaw driver in Vientiane in Laos.
Yeah.
But then war forces the family to move. They cross the Mekong to Thailand. And somehow, from being a driver, he becomes this wealthy landowner. 100 ray of land.
Yeah, it's a huge amount, a real rags to riches situation. And he did it more than once, which is remarkable.
So how did he manage that initial success? What do the sources say?
Well, the source is connected to a past life belief, something about one brain, two hands, which basically means a strong sense of self-reliance, relying on his own hard work, not others.
Okay, so that belief drove him.
Exactly. But the sources also mention his merit-making was a bit patchy. He did good deeds, but more like a just-in-case thing, without fully grasping its power, apparently.
Ah, okay. So he built wealth through effort, but the foundation wasn't quite solid.
That's the idea presented, yeah. The good karma helped him rise, but the inconsistency meant it wasn't stable long-term.
And then things took a really dark turn. This part's tough. When you, our listener, were just a toddler, about 3 years old, your family was robbed.
A traumatic event.
Yeah. Middle of the night, 2 masked men, a gun. They took everything. And the aftermath was just devastating for the father. He spiraled,
Became very sad, yes.
turned to drinking, womanizing, gambling, and lost all that land to debt. From wealth back to basically nothing.
And this is where the sources draw that direct karmic link. They say this robbery was retribution, payback for a past life where he, as a teenager, was in a gang that robbed people.
Wow. So literally reaping what he sowed.
That's the principle highlighted, yes. Experiencing what he inflicted on others. And his later vices, the drinking, the gambling, that's described as a continuation of old habits too. Plus the result of what the sources call bad company or negative influences from that same past life carrying over.
It shows how these patterns can just keep repeating, doesn't it?
It really does.
But incredibly, he didn't stay down. He moved. The family couldn't stand the gossip, apparently moved to Samaprakan
Right.
and started all over again, driving a rickshaw for hire.
Back to the beginning, in a
Yeah.
way.
Yeah. But then he became an owner again, rented out rickshaws, got stable, paid off debts, and even bought back rice fields in his hometown eventually. That resilience is amazing.
It absolutely is. It shows that power of his past, good deeds, that self-reliance kicking back in. He could work hard.
But you mentioned those underlying patterns were still there.
Yes, exactly. That inconsistency in merit-making, those past negative actions, they created this instability. So it was more a cycle of rise and fall, not that sustained peaceful wealth. Like later in life, he suffered from asthma, liver cirrhosis, linked in the sources to past drunking and harming animals, even the difficult circumstances of his death being tied down, having a tube inserted that's linked back to tying up victims in his past robberies.
Gosh. So effort changes the immediate, but the deeper patterns need more.
That's the lesson drawn here. It takes a real shift in actions and intention to resolve those deeper karmic threads.
Okay, let's shift now to the mother, your elder sister, our listener. She was a fish seller for nearly 20 years. That sounds like hard work.
Very hard. Selling fresh, dead, dried fish.
And the sources mention her having to, hit live fish on the head with a cleaver for customers. Multiple times sometimes. That's quite a vivid and difficult image.
It is. And it brings up an important point the sources address. The karma of killing. Specifically, the difference between killing out of anger versus, well, doing it as your job.
Right, because she wasn't angry, she was just making a living.
Exactly. The sources say that lack of malice means the negative karma is less severe, the consequence is slower, but taking life, even for livelihood, still generates negative karma according to these teachings. It leads to illness, a shorter life. So while she lived longer than if she'd acted out of pure hate, she still passed at 63, not a full, healthy lifespan.
It's nuanced then. Intent matters, but the act itself still carries weight.
Precisely.
And later, at 60,
Yeah.
she got hit with so much at once.
Yeah.
5 major illnesses.
Yes, simultaneously. Anemia, gallstones, liver cirrhosis, water in the lungs, and kidney problems.
Her abdomen swelled up so much they had to drain fluid every 2 weeks.
That's what the sources detail. A tremendous amount of suffering concentrated in those later years.
What's the connection there? Is it just the fish selling or more?
It's presented as a combination of things coming due. The sources link specific past actions to each illness.
Like what?
Okay, so cheating with scales in a past life, linked to the anemia and kidney issues, a past tendency towards irritability and anger, connected to the gallstones, past alcohol consumption contributing to the liver cirrhosis.
Makes sense.
And then the overall karma from repeatedly killing animals day after day for years. That's seen as the cause for the whole cascade. Multiple diseases hitting at once, the water in the lungs, it's like various karmic debts compounding.
Wow, that's a heavy load of consequences all manifesting together.
It is portrayed as very severe, yes.
And the end of her life sounds particularly tragic. Her husband, your father, tried to help, took her to someone described as an unqualified doctor.
Yes, someone lacking proper medical knowledge.
And this person used a large needle, a tube, drained almost 3 liters of bloody fluid into an old milk can.
A very graphic and disturbing account in the sources.
And after that, she couldn't eat or drink and passed away in agony just 2 days later.
A truly harrowing end.
It really underscores the seriousness of these karmic repercussions detailed in the sources. How do these teachings suggest processing such intense stories?
It's meant to highlight the gravity, definitely. The source connects even that specific event, encountering the unskilled practitioner, directly back to the karma of killing animals. It's explained that this negative karma created the very conditions for her to end up receiving that inappropriate, fatal treatment.
So it wasn't just random bad luck.
Not according to this framework, no. It was a direct consequence. And her state of mind before death was sorrowful, leading her, the sources say, to Mahanaraka 1.
Mahanaraka. That's a great hell realm in these teachings.
Yes, and level 1 is described with intense suffering, being cut, dismembered, very vivid imagery.
It really serves as a stark warning, then, about the weight of our actions.
Exactly. It emphasizes the urgency of mindful living and, importantly for those still living, the power of making merit to potentially counteract such outcomes.
Okay, so now let's bring this back to you, our listener. Your own path. You met your husband online. He was quite a bit older, 20 years senior.
Yes, that's right.
And the start wasn't easy. Language barriers, cultural differences.
And a stepson who was jealous, worried about losing his dad's affection. Sounds like a recipe for tension.
Definitely a turbulent beginning.
But there's a past life connection there too, according to the sources. You and he were apparently husband and wife before.
Really?
Yes, and you both had a history of that inconsistent merit-making we talked about with your father. So finding each other again in this life, even with the age gap, is seen as that karmic tie reasserting itself. You met when he was older this time around.
Fascinating how these connections are described as spanning lifetimes.
This is a central theme.
And then came a major turning point for you. After some frustration, you went back to Norway for a bit and discovered that DMC programming these Buddhist teachings was now available there. You got a dish installed, just dove right in, watching, chanting, meditating, and found real happiness.
A significant shift.
Huge. And then you heard this teaching, treat your husband as a deity.
Ah, yes, that's a powerful instruction.
You felt shy about it, understandably. But you did it. You bowed to him humbly, invited him to meditate, praised him all the time, handsome, cheerful.
Using that flower language, as the sources call it. Kind words, appreciation.
And it completely transformed your family life.
It's a perfect example of applying the teachings directly, your consistent effort, that kindness, encouraging meditation. It created a positive change. It really shows how committing to the practice can turn even difficult relationships around, make the whole environment happier.
And he even started using flower language back at you.
He did. It shows that ripple effect. Your positive actions inspired a positive response. Wonderful outcome.
Now, you also shared some personal challenges, like being the only one in your family really drawn to the spiritual path. And you experienced a miscarriage, which must have been heartbreaking. You wondered why you were born into a family with such different views.
Right, and the sources offer insights there too, being born into that family environment. Linked to a past life where, before finding the Dharma community, you apparently associated with bad company for a time.
That phrase again.
Yes, and even though you made merit later, you didn't specifically pray to be born into what's called a right view or samatiti family, one aligned with these teachings. So that earlier karma related to negative influences got a chance to ripen first.
Okay, that makes sense within this framework.
And the miscarriage. That was linked to supporting a friend's abortion in a previous life, a karmic consequence. But the fact that you bled without pain, that was attributed to past merit you made by offering medicine to monks and others. So merit can soften consequences.
I see. And what about having children in the future?
The sources suggest it might be difficult, partly due to age, and offer an alternative aspiration. If you can't be a mother to a child, aim to be a mother of the world.
Meaning?
Focusing that nurturing energy outward, making merit broadly, helping many people.
So, taking all this incredible detailed insight, what does it mean for you now? How can you keep supporting your parents, given what the sources say about their current state, and keep strengthening your own path?
It's a vital question, and the sources are quite direct. They state, your father is currently in Mahanaraka 5, suffering intensely, being forced to drink molten copper, is the description.
Oh, that's horrific.
And your mother is in Mahanaraka 1, enduring being cut and dismembered. Again, very graphic descriptions emphasizing extreme suffering.
But you mentioned the merit you've sent has helped a bit.
Yes, they've apparently received some relief because of your dedicated merit, but they're still in great distress and long to be freed. So the guidance is clear. You must keep making merit. All kinds giving, morality, meditation, and crucially, dedicate it specifically to them frequently. That's presented as the only way to truly alleviate their suffering and help them move to a better state.
It really emphasizes the power of continued spiritual practice, not just for oneself, but for others, even after they've passed.
Absolutely. It's a profound responsibility outlined in these teachings.
And for listeners trying to grasp this, how exactly does sending merit work? How does it reach someone in, say, Mahanaraka?
It's described as a kind of spiritual transmission, like directing positive energy. When you make merit with sincere intention and then focus that energy, dedicating it to a specific person, their consciousness, wherever it is, can tune in and receive that benefit.
So it's not physical, it's more about resonance.
Exactly. Spiritual resonance. It can lighten their suffering, improve their condition, potentially help them recall their own past good deeds.
And for your husband, how should you support him?
Similar principle. Include his name every time you make merit, dedicate it to him, and constantly pray he continues making merit himself within the community. And importantly, be that good friend, the Kalyanamita, patient, calm, enduringly kind. Your positive influence is key.
And finally, your own big aspiration. You want to help spread these teachings in Norway, gather people, establish a meditation center there. That sounds like a wonderful, ambitious goal.
It is, and the source fully affirms this path for you. The advice is to pursue it with a clear, smiling, cool, patient heart.
I like that phrasing.
Me too. By doing this, you keep creating powerful merit for yourself and others. It helps ensure you stay connected to the path, follow the community, and keep moving towards enlightenment without getting sidetracked. It's a deeply meritorious goal.
Wow, what an incredibly deep dive this has been. Just amazing. We've really seen how actions, intentions, past choices, all viewed through this specific karmic lens, weave such a complex tapestry, shaping health, wealth, relationships.
Everything. It really highlights that intricate web, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And the power attributed to consistent merit making.
And how applying these teachings, like you did with your husband, can genuinely transform things.
Absolutely. I think the key takeaway is that while the past is past, the present and future are still very much influenceable. Through conscious effort, good deeds, sincere aspirations, that understanding offers a path to peace and real change, not just for ourselves, but potentially for our loved ones too, even beyond this life, according to these sources.
So for you, our listener, and everyone tuning in, maybe here's a final thought to chew on. Think about your own small choices today, the little actions, the fleeting intentions. How might they be echoing? Not just in your life, but maybe, just maybe, across time, across connections, in ways we don't usually perceive.
The potential ripple effect, it's vast.
Thank you so much for sharing your family story and these sources with us. It's been truly profound. And thank you all for joining us on the deep dive. Until next time, keep exploring, keep asking questions.
And keep making those connections.